Hey guys, and welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Amir. Welcome. I hope you press that subscribe button down below. So as you can tell by the title, I am showing you my updated base routine. It's getting cold outside, so I had to switch it up. And the new technique that I've been doing, it's been giving me a whole bunch of coverage. So I'm not going to say too much right now. So I'm gonna just wrap up this little intro so we can get right into the video. Alright, so my face is already prepped and ready to go. So we are going to jump right into the base. For my primers, if you are wondering, I do use two different ones. This one is the E.L.F matte putty primer, and then I also go in with the cloud complexion primer for the perimeter of my face, and then the putty primer, I do it on my T-zone. Before I hop into my foundation, I like to color correct around my mouth and my jaw area. So I'm taking a orange color corrector. This one is from LA Girl. And I don't like to use a lot. I did make that mistake in one of my previous videos. I just put on way too much, and when I was looking back, I was like, yikes. So word of advice, use a little bit of product because a little goes a long way, especially if you're color correcting. And if you hear some noise in the background, my window is open. It's raining outside, so I just wanted some natural air to flow in. I love the smell of rain. Does anybody else like the smell of rain? And then to cover up the corrector, I'm taking Toffee from LA Girl once again and going right on top of that. And what I like to do, I like to take that same brush that I used to blend out the color corrector, and I blend out the concealer that goes on top. And for my foundation, I am taking the Juvia's Place I Am Magic in the shade 310. I like to go in between this one and my Milani Conceal and Perfect, or Perfect and Conceal foundation. They are both drugstore friendly brands, so I do highly recommend you guys getting the Juvia's Place and the Milani. They both have great coverage on them, okay? And if you are an oily girl, a piece of advice that I can give, don't put foundation directly on your T-zone area if that's where you get oily the most. Because with foundation, they have oil in them, and you don't want to put oil on top of oil because your foundation won't last all day, or for however long you choose to wear it. And for my foundation brush, I'm taking the number 3 brush from NYX Cosmetics. It's just a dome dense brush. And I just like to pat the color, or pat the foundation in. Instead of swirling, you swirl, you get streaks. And whatever that I have left on my brush from my face, I just like to pat it onto my nose because that will be less product that's on the oily part of my face. For my highlight shade, I'm taking my Milani Conceal and Perfect, and this one is in the shade Warm Tan. And what I like to do for my concealer, I like to let it sit, because once it sits, it'll have more coverage. And with the Conceal and Perfect concealer, it doesn't dry down fast. Like, you have time to work with it. So if you are slow with doing your brows or the rest of your face, it won't stay in one place where you can't move it. But it will, you know, still have some wiggle room so you can blend it out. So as my concealer is setting, I just like to go in with my brows after or before I blend it out. I think this is called the Excessive Brow from XXRevolution. But this is in the shade Medium Brown. Now with this product, I only like to use it if I'm using this one. The other one that I use is from Morphe. But when I'm using this one, since it's on the darker side, I just like to use it to outline my brows because it's really dark. And I'm kind of heavy-handed with this product. So I don't want to make my brows like super dark because then I'll look scary. And then to fill in the sparse areas of my brow, I am taking the XX Brow from XXRevolution just to fill in my tails and then the front of my brow. Then taking my Milani concealer again and just cleaning it up. Now that the brows are out of the way, I am going to blend out my concealer. I really don't have a specific side or area to start on. So I'm just patting that in. It's almost like a pat drag, but not like a hard drag. So when I get to my under eye portion, I like to start from the edge and pull it outwards because I like the center of my face to be wider a little bit. And then I just dab the center of that concealer because I don't use sponges anymore. Well, I don't reach for them as much as I used to because with sponges they pick up some of the product, and when I'm looking to have a super full coverage face, I only use brushes. When I drag the concealer shade closer to my eye, I like to follow the natural line that separates the two, like my lid and my lower lash, and just drag it straight across. And then whatever I have left on my brush, I like to drag it on my upper lip. And then I use my foundation brush once again and just dab over the edges. Since I'm not using a brush. And this helps blend out everything as well, if you don't have access to any sponges. I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Dark Coffee and Cocoa. So I like to use Dark Coffee first in the hollows of my cheeks. And I like to put that below my lip, just a little bit. And then just a few lines on my forehead. And then I take Cocoa and I go on top of it. Just to give it some more dimension and warmth. And I don't like to let that sit. I just like to go in and blend it out. So I'll start with my lower lip first. And I'm just swiping it back and forth this time. And then the cheeks. With my cheeks, I like to pat upward, and then back. And then I get into the hollows of my temples, because I like how that looks. And with my forehead, I don't like to drag this color or the contour shade too far down because my forehead isn't that big. And then going back over with my foundation brush again and just blending those edges. Like so. So this is how the cream base is looking so far. I am loving it because, you know, I worked hard on it, okay? So now that my cream part or liquid part is done, I am going in with my Fenty Pro Filt'r powder in the shade Honey. So I like to use my Real Techniques 402 brush, and this is this setting brush. So I dab into whatever that's on the top of this powder. I dab my brush in it like that, and then I take the top and I just dab the excess on top, getting as much off as I can. And I like to start with my forehead and just pat it on. One thing that I do like about this brush, it's soft enough to dust away the powder or distribute the powder. So I like to let this sit just a little bit on the bridge of my nose because I get oily there the most, and then I take a lot or a good amount and put it on the side of my nose. Start from the edge once again, dabbing it on and then brushing it gently. And then whatever that I have left on my powder brush, I just like to dab over the areas that I didn't get to, like around my mouth. I'm gonna place that to the side. And then to contour and bronze my face, I'm taking my True Complexion Contour Palette from Black Radiance. And this is in medium to dark. And I'm going to go in with the contour side first. And I like to pat that on. Pat it on first and then blend it upwards. With this product, you don't need a lot on your brush. A little goes a long way with this. So that's another reason why I like this product. And then I use that same brush and I go into the sculpt shade and doing the same thing over again, just to give a little bit of warmth back to the face. For my nose, I'm going to go into the sculpt shade once again and use that to shape my nose. And when I'm contouring my nose, I like to start directly in between the center of my eyes on each side and drag the product upward into the brow where that natural curve is, and then just bring it down. I don't like a super snatch nose because, you know, I'm black and I like my nose. I don't want it to be too skinny. And this brush that I'm using, it doesn't have a name on it. I honestly don't remember where I got this brush from. It was either from Marshall's or Amazon. I cannot remember. It's between one of those two stores, Marshall's or Amazon. And if you're looking for affordable brushes, Amazon got you, girl. Okay, you can get like a 32-piece set for like $20 and they work pretty good. And then I take a fluffy brush. Oh, before I do the fluffy brush, I'm going to go back into my setting powder. Excuse me. Going back into that setting powder, and I'm going to cut the lower part of that contoured section. And then I dust it off, because I don't like that to sit, because once it sits, it does not move. Just gently doing a little swirl action, just to make sure that everything is being blended together. And after I get done with my powders, I go directly in with a setting spray so everything can fully melt while I do my eyes, so it can give me an added bit of I'm gonna create a word, lastation, so it can last for a long time. So this setting spray is from Maybelline. This is the Lasting Fix. You can wear this up to 16 hours and it is a matte finish. So I like to pull my hair back behind my arms and just spray. And then once I get done with that, I go back in with my foundation brush and just dab that all over my face. So I'm going to hop off camera and finish my face, and then I'm gonna come back and we're going to wrap up this video. Alright, so here we have the finished look. This is how I get my base perfect. Like, normally it takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to get my base like really perfect and how I want it. But I will list all the products that I used for my base down below in the description box. You will also see this look again in another video. I did a first impressions on a eyeshadow palette, so make sure that you stay tuned for that video as well. So I would like to thank you guys once again for tuning in. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amir. I post every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm all things beauty and fashion related here on YouTube with a little bit of life content. So make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed and comment down below what you would like to see next, so we can keep this ball rolling and growing. So thank you once again, and I hope I get to see you in the next one.